Good wishes, dear students. We are starting with the first lesson in physical chemistry sections, that is solid state, prescribed for your 12th standard chemistry. Now you know the basic point of difference between the three states of matter, namely solids, liquids and gases. In solids, solids are made up of ions or atoms or molecules. In solid, these ions or atoms or molecules are closely packed. Let's see the few more points of general characteristics for a solid. They have a definite volume and shape. They are rigid and cannot be compressed. The distance between the atoms or ions or a molecule is very short. Now constituents are, as I told you, they are made up of atoms or ions or molecules. The atoms or ions or molecules are fixed and cannot oscillate themselves. They have a strong cohesive force, meaning a binding force. Moving on to the second point, the classification of solids are based on two. One is crystalline solid, the other one is amorphous solid. To understand easily, crystalline, you remember the transparent structure. Amorphous, non-transparent. Examples I've given. Here rubber I have given. Now crystalline solids can be further divided, and one more point of difference. In amorphous solids, atoms are arranged in disorderly manner. Whereas in crystalline solids, atoms or ions or molecules, they have a regular arrangement. Let me sum up once again. Solids are classified into two categories, that is crystalline solid and amorphous solid. Amorphous solid, atoms or ions or molecules are not arranged in a regular pattern. Whereas in crystalline solids, atoms or ions or molecules have a regular arrangement. One more point of distinguish for you to remember. Crystalline solids are transparent solids most of the time. Further, crystalline solids have 5 other divisions, that is ionic crystal, covalent type of crystal, molecular crystal, metallic crystal and atomic crystal. Among the 2 types of crystal, for your syllabus, crystalline solids and their properties and their defects, everything we will learn in detail. So the 5 types are ionic, covalent, molecular, metallic and atomic solids. Now everywhere I have just written one example. Now atomic solids, when we say in general, they are frozen elements of group 18, that is a noble gas or inert elements. Now one more point of note that you need to remember. Atoms or ions or molecules in solids are bounded by many flat, symmetrically arranged faces. We will see about it when we learn the structure. So moving on to, so you have seen the general characteristics and the classification of solids. Under classification, for your syllabus, you will have to learn about the crystalline types of solids we will be learning. The next one, a very important repeated question. Distinguish between amorphous solid and a crystalline solid. Point number 1, it has a definite shape, irregular shape. It is anisotrophic and it is isotrophic. We will see this explanation at the end of this page. Third point of difference, it's a true solid, it's a supercooled liquid. Point number 4, it has a definite heat of fusion. Heat of fusion is not definite. The next point, it has a sharp melting point and no sharp melting point. Ions are orderly arranged, as I told you earlier. Here ions are randomly arranged. Example, diamond or sodium chloride, anything that you can write. Here it can be glass, rubber, etc. Then moving on to, as I told you, the difference between what is anisotrophic and isotrophic. Now when we say isotrophic crystals, here the physical properties are identical in all directions. This is found in amorphous solids. Anisotropy, when we say the physical properties are not identical in all directions. This type of isotrophism is found in crystalline solids. So isotropy, you have to remember, physical properties are same in all directions or identical. Anisotropy, when we say physical properties are not identical in all directions. Moving on to, as I have told you, our syllabus is crystalline solids. We will see about one by one in detail along with their characteristics. So the first one, definition and characteristics of crystalline solids. Under that first one, ionic crystal. Now the word ion only you will be able to understand. These are made up of ions, positive ions and negative ions. Now ionic crystals contains anions and cations. That's a positive and a negative charge ions. Now ions are held by strong electrostatic force of attraction. Example I have taken of sodium chloride. Now this is the definition. Their ionic crystals are made up of anions and cations. What binds those anions and cations? Strong electrostatic force of attraction. Moving on to the characteristics of ionic crystals. They have a high melting point. They do not conduct electricity in the solid state, but they do conduct electricity in the molten state, and they are hard. Moving on to the second type of crystal, that is covalent crystal. Now ionic crystals are made up of anions and cations. Covalent crystals are made up of atoms. Now I told you solids are made up of ions or atoms or molecules. So ionic crystals are made up of ions. Covalent crystals are made up of atoms. Now held by three-dimensional covalent bonds. Now you know the difference between covalent bond and a pi bond and ionic bond. So they are held by covalent bonds. Example, diamond I have taken. The characteristics are, they are hard, they have a high melting point, they do not conduct electricity. Diamond, if you remember, in the allotropes of carbon you have learned, it undergoes sp3 hybridization. No free electrons possible to carry over to conduct electricity. So hence it do not conduct electricity. They are poor thermal conductors. The third type of solid under crystalline, it's a molecular solids. Now I am repeating again and again. Ionic crystals are made up of ions. Covalent crystals are made up of atoms. And molecular solids are made up of molecules. Now it contains a neutral molecule. They are held by weak van der Waals forces. They are soft and do not conduct electricity. So ionic crystals are held by strong electrostatic force of attraction. Covalent crystals are held by covalent bonds, and molecular solids are held by weak van der Waals forces. Now let's move on to, there are further molecular solids or molecular crystals are further divided into three other categories. First one is non-polar molecular crystal. Now here these molecules are held by weak London forces or a weak dispersion forces. What's the meaning of weak London or a dispersion force? Temporarily attractive force between two electrons in two adjacent atoms. We will see how the crystal structure is made up of. So it's a, once again I repeat, temporary attractive force between two electrons in two adjacent atoms. Now it has a low melting point. Example, naphthalene, anthracene, etc. we have taken. So this is non-polar molecule solids. If you say polar, you should have a positive end and negative end. Now when we say non-polar, they are held by the weak London forces. Moving on to the next category, polar molecular crystals. Now polar molecular crystals are held by strong dipole-dipole interaction. Here they are held by weak London forces or a weak dispersion forces. Polar molecules are held by strong dipole-dipole interaction. Just the opposite of here. Attractive force between the positive end of one polar molecule to the negative end of another polar molecule. I told you the word polar gives us that ion, that is a positive and negative ions. Two ends exist, positive end and negative end. So the attraction is between the positive end of one polar molecule to the negative end of another polar molecule. Again, they have a high melting point. An example will be solid carbon dioxide. Moving on to the third type of molecular solids, they are called as a hydrogen bonded molecular crystals or a solids. Molecules are held by hydrogen bonds. What's the meaning of hydrogen bonds? Weak forces that arises due to electrostatic type of forces. Attraction, they are soft solid, and example will be solid ice. So these are the three types of solids. Molecular solid is further divided into non-polar, polar molecule and hydrogen bonded molecular crystals. For the exam point of view, if you write down the key answers that is given, it's more than enough. Moving on to the next one, metallic solids. So metallic solids, when we say, the lattice points contains a positively charged metal ions and surrounded by the cloud of electrons. Second point, they are hard, they have a high melting point, it is a good conductors of heat and electricity, they are bright, luster, the appearances. Example, silver, gold, iron, copper, etc. So metallic solids, all you have to remember is lattice points contains a positive charged metal ions. We will see what is a lattice point, and surrounded by the cloud of electrons. So these are next one. We are moving on to the some common terms in a solid state that you need to know. What's the meaning of crystal lattice? Meaning of crystal lattice is it has a regular arrangement of ions or atoms or molecules in a crystal is called as a crystal lattice. Always these arrangements are expressed in terms of a three-dimensional pattern. Now this, instead of calling out ions, atoms or molecules, we can also replace the word with a point. They are one and the same. Regular arrangement of points in a crystal is called as a crystal lattice. Let me show you the structure of it. Now, if this is the structure of NaCl, sodium chloride. Now this structure is called as a crystal lattice. Now what's the meaning of lattice? The points that we have. It does not, I shouldn't say points. When I say points, it talks about an ions or atoms or a molecules. In another word to say, now if this is the structure of one crystal we are talking about. So this is the meaning of crystal lattice. The number of points on a particular structure. The points can be ions or atoms or molecules. Next one, unit cell. The basic repeating structural unit of a crystal. In another word, smallest portion of the crystal lattice. So the definition for a crystal lattice is nothing. Regular arrangement of ions or atoms or molecules in a crystal is called as a crystal lattice. It's a three-dimensional pattern we are drawing here. Unit cell, when we say the basic repeating structural unit of a crystal, it's nothing. Smallest portion of a crystal lattice. Let's draw once again. Now if you look into this, each column is divided into, each side is divided into four division. 1, 2, 3, 4. This side if you see 1, 2, 3, 4. This direction when you see 1, 2, 3, 4. The lower direction when you see 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the same, this one will be the smallest. So like this, many parts being attached gives us a whole structure of a crystal. So when we say unit cell, now this one particular unit can be represented in this manner. So this is called as a unit cell. What's the explanation we have written? Smallest portion of a crystal lattice. Moving on to the coordination number. What's the meaning of coordination number? The number of nearest, not present, the number of nearest neighbors that is surrounding a particle. Now particle, when we say, it can be ions or atoms or molecules in a crystal, is called the coordination number of that crystal or a particle. Let's see it with the example. Now suppose if I draw, I'm just drawing a three-dimensional unit I am drawing here. Now if you see here, this is further, I'm dividing it into 2 and one more division 4. Here I am having dividing into 4. Here again I am dividing into 4. Now here I am joining these points and dividing into 4. Now here I have a structure and further I'm dividing them into. So if you join the middle line here, so I can also join these lines here. So if you see here, this side is divided into 4 quarters. This side is divided into 4 quarters. Middle is divided into 4 quarters. Above and below. So all the 6 faces we are dividing into 4 quarters. Now what are we talking about when we say coordination number. Now the dark color thing that I have marked it here. Now if we count for this particular ions or atoms or a molecule's coordination number, if you see here, it has 1 on top, 1 down. So I'll name it here 1, 2. This side it has 1 electron, and this side, electron I shouldn't say, it may be ions or atoms or molecules, a point, let me say it here. So it has a 1 point above and 1 point below, 1 point here and 1 point here. Now if we see here, so this will be the coordination number. The number of ions or atoms or a molecule surrounding a particle in a crystal is called as a coordination number. Moving on to the next types of unit cell. Now, you know that what's the meaning of unit cell? That's a basic repeating structural unit of a crystal. That's the smallest portion of a crystal lattice. The smallest portion of a crystal lattice is further divided into 2 categories: primitive unit cell and non-primitive unit cell. Now, what's the meaning of primitive unit cell? If a unit cell contains only 1 lattice points, it's called as a primitive unit cell. On the other hand, non-primitive unit cell, if a unit cell contains additional lattice points. Now, if you look here, for a simple understanding, only one type of cube you can see. In this one, you can see a cube and one more point is being marked here. So, non-primitive cell, there are different divisions or subcategories for it. We will see it in detail. Right now, all you have to learn is in terms of definition alone. If a unit cell contains additional lattice points, they are called as a non-primitive unit cell. If a unit cell contains only 1 lattice point, it is called as a primitive unit cell. Now, how shall we say? Now, you can see now what's the meaning of lattice point I told you. How many points are available in the structure? In this case, if you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But what do we say here? Only 1 lattice points. Let's explain this point here. Suppose if I take this to be the structure. Now, ions, let's take it as an atoms. It has got 4 atoms. All the 4 corners, each corner is bonded to. Now, if we look for, it has one sector of the atom is shared here. One sector of the atom is shared here. Another sector of the atom is shared here, and another sector of the atom is shared here. So, meaning 4 atoms are contributing 1/4 of their part to form a unit cell. So if we divide, what's the answer? We are getting up to 1. So if each corner is sharing it with another 4 units, so not on the whole, 1 sector of the unit is being shared. So 4 corners, 4 atoms are sharing 1/4 of their structures, finally giving us to 1 lattice unit. So if a unit cell contains only 1 lattice point, it's called as a primitive cell. Non-primitive cell, we will see it in detail. Thank you.